Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Nain Shorts. We are back home. We have beaten COVID. Okay, well, we survived COVID. At least I have. We're all good now, so we're allowed to get out of our house and be able to do these shows once again here at our home at Physique Magnifique, 387 Grand Avenue. Please stop on by. The owners, Futaba and Jim, are ready to invite you in with open arms, whether you just want to shed some, a few extra pounds from the holidays, or you're really here to do some really serious work and compete at whatever level it is that you wish to compete. There's so much offered here, and you'll be treated like family. This is a wonderful place to be for anyone who wants to grow. And if you want to come by and play with us, this is where we're going to be. So please, if you're in the area, step on in and at least take a look at the facilities. That being said, I'm excited to be back. I wish we would have started this at the beginning of the year, the actual calendar year, but here we are once again, training. Now, this year, even with our colleague conversation, we want to focus more on the physical aspect of things. We talked about the process, and I'm going to bring up a lot of the same ideas because a lot of the talking points that we had last year are the points that we use, the checklists that we use to evaluate the information that we get. And I wanted to start off this episode with footwork. Now, you're going to hear it all the time. Footwork is key. Many different arts, many different instructors will say footwork is key. But footwork for what? What is the purpose of your footwork? And everybody's going to have a different answer depending on the focus of your training. For me, in the Bladed Mind, my focus is combative. How do I survive? How do I keep moving? How do I put myself in the best position possible to get the better of a, bad situation, which is being attacked by someone random or a group of people in whatever situation you happen to find yourself in. Now, if you didn't see it coming, your awareness kind of sucks, but we're not going to be able to see everything, so being able to move and move quickly is going to be key to being able to survive or getting out of a situation. In the Bladed Mind, because it is a Filipino-based martial art, or training methodology rather, we do use the triangle footwork. Now, originally, I did learn the male and female triangle individually. So going to the outside from one place to the other, always starting at the point and going back. But in the Filipino martial arts, we can even close the triangle where we complete the third line and come back to the center. So once again, as we step to one side, step to the other, we can complete the base and continue on or come back, and we're constantly learning to move our feet. And at its most basic idea, that's what it's for. Learning how to move your feet without tripping over yourself, so you can get around, in between, move back, move forward, because then you have the male triangle where you do step into the center of your opponent or your movement towards your center line, and again, you can complete the motion. Now, that's how I learned it originally, but as we always say, you have to evolve the ideas, you have to evolve the training to better suit your needs. And eventually we got to a point where, because of our clock system, these are our striking patterns, they are also our stepping pattern. The center is now you. As you place this on the floor and 12 o'clock is directly in front of you, your right step forward is your 1 o'clock, but from the center. So when you come back, you always come back to the center of the clock, and then you can step left. You're 11 o'clock. You step back. That's your 5 with your right foot. As you step with your left foot, that's your 7. But again, why is this now being done this way? And what happened is that we realized that at any given point, you have one line. There really is no triangle. And you hear it from different masters telling you, you're never going to fight in your triangle footwork. So then why learn it? Well, so you can learn how to move your feet quickly. Okay, but is that the extent of it? I've been blessed with being able to get different ideas and different teachings from different masters from many types of martial arts with far, far more experience than I have. Some of the traditional ideas from, say, horse stance, okay, wide, develop strength, but in the debate that I've had with Rick in reference to what is really being learned in things that are this low, oh, I'm learning how to move my center mass. I'm learning how to exaggerate the weight. So I really have to pay attention to where are my hips moving? Where is my weight being distributed? Other things like the karate stance where you do have the long leg in the back and you have the strong base. Again, in the movements, I've realized for myself, and I could be completely wrong, is that it isolates certain movements so you can really emphasize the rest of the mechanics. And then it dawned on me, the mechanics are all the same, regardless of what art you do or how you emphasize it. But it's then the purpose of why you're doing it and what you're trying to learn that would change the way that you go about training, which is why even in what we do, we question it. Okay, what is the point of the triangle footwork? Well, we change it to this now because all we want a student to do at the very beginning is to move their feet. But I'm no longer a beginning student, so where do I take this now? So I started pulling all these ideas from all these other arts that I come across and different instructors, even in Filipino martial arts. And I started realizing that when I do these motions, one, if I overstep, I now have to work that much harder to shift my weight from the front to the back. That takes time and energy. If you're developing leg strength, that's great. If you're stretching your hammies and all the other ligaments that go along with it, that is a wonderful way to go about it. But if you are simply doing it because that's how it was taught, you have to question, why am I doing it that way? And for me, and for the bladed mind, this shoulder width is really all we need as a step. Because if I can take 3 steps to get to where I need to, that's fine. I'm not in a rush. But because I choose to take a step that's only shoulder width, I'm constantly in the best place I can structurally. Just like this is our striking pattern, and we tell the students that you need to drop the hand. So whatever weapon comes out before the hand or instead of the hand, such as, Rick, would you mind?
Not at all. Hey everybody, happy New Year.
Guy. When we do our basic 1 and 11 with each other, we always say, drop the hand. Drop the hand. Why? Because if you don't drop the hand, that's what happens. If we extend out first, our hand is exposed. Our hand is exposed, but if we drop our hand, the tip of the stick is always the one that goes out first and our hand stays safe. Mechanically, the closer our hands are to our body, the stronger we are. And we've proven it before. If I go here and extend, that's power. You can generate power, but you also waste energy because now I have to lift my arm up and then drop it down. Meanwhile, if he's smart, he's going to smack the shit out of it. And I'm going to lose my weapon. So whatever power I could have generated, it's going to be nullified completely. But if I can learn to be relaxed, stay close to my body, I can generate just as much force, maybe even more, because I'm compacting the movements and waste less energy without exposing my hand to danger. Conversely, if I'm not extending my leg out to hit, and he's standing the way he is, all he has to do is reach out there's my knee. It's not going to be very easy, but if I reach to him, I can't. He's guarded. He's taking care of himself, which is why we emphasize to our students that when you are going to move combatively, move like you walk, fight like you walk, and walk like you fight. So you're never overextending, you're never exposing more than you need to. Just like you're not exposing your hand, you don't expose your feet. Thank you very much, Rick, for that.
Toodles.
So those are the ideas now that we're using combatively to explain why our steps are short. And depending on the width of your shoulders, they may be short for some, short for others, long for other people. It doesn't matter, because it is all to the individual and how comfortable you are. Because if you can say that being this close to your body, you're going to be mechanically stronger, then the same can be said about your legs. And in my personal training, I started putting together other ideas. For example, this step, I believe it's Wing Chun. Okay, it's an exaggerated instep, it's pigeon-toed, your knees are close together, but what it does is that it pushes on the inside of your feet, and it allows you to generate a great deal of mechanical power. Not through physical strength, but through the idea that you're pushing, you're stepping out. And even in boxing, when they step in, they kick the canvas to generate force. But I realized that if you were to shift that weight to the outside of the foot while you're trying to do these motions, you lose out on that tension and you lose mechanical structure. And it made me realize that in every type of footwork, the weight is distributed to the inside of the foot. So how do I take this idea of, okay, this is structurally sound, and I add it to my footwork? Okay, now that when I'm doing my triangle, oh, if I add a knee, my weight is shifting to the inside. Oh, my weight is shifted to the outside. I lose structure. Okay, so I need to continuously understand at what point am I structurally sound where I can generate power. And actually, Rick, I just had an idea right now. Would you mind coming back? No, you don't need to stick. Now, we can emphasize with the sticks all we want, the power that you can generate, but you can also argue, okay, it's a weapon, but you're not going to have a weapon in a street fighting situation, in a self-defense type of situation. So then how does all this then work? Well, if he throws a punch and I'm moving in here, okay, I'm guarded, sure, but the point is I'm not overextending. Why? Because at any point I can shift my weight as I would in my footwork. Not necessarily taking another step, but understanding at what point I can. Oh, now I'm putting the weight here. Oh, look, and this comes back into a strong punch. So I'm utilizing the ideas that I learned in this footwork, in motion, to constantly be in a place where I can generate the most amount of force, depending on what I need. Thank you so much again for that.
Good idea.
So what's the point? Though the point is that you have to question why you're doing the things that you're doing. And unfortunately, not every environment has harbored the ability to do so. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you ask your parent a question after they told you to do something. You're really just wanting clarification, but because they're the parent, now you're talking back. Now you're being unruly. And unfortunately, there are some schools, some classes, some instructors that kind of have that sense about them too, where, hey, if you ask any questions, even though I told you to evolve it and grow it, I'm going to be mad at you. I'm going to chastise you, or I'm just going to look at you really dirty and make you feel like maybe I shouldn't have said anything. And I'll just keep going with what I'm doing because it's all about understanding. Everything that I've been talking about today isn't a culmination of just the information I got from the Bladed Mind, as much as it's grown. It's also from outside sources. Other instructors in different arts that have given me a deeper insight on something that is, in my mind, very basic and true. There is no footwork. There is just movement. And just like when you walk one foot in front of the other, oh wait, at any given point where both of your feet are touching the ground, that is your footwork. And if you can understand how, even in a simple walk, constantly be even, weight distributed, balanced, ready to move in any other direction against any obstacle that happens to fall in your way, well then you truly are walking like you fight and fighting like you walk. And if you can do that, well, then it's a bit more natural and you're constantly ready and you don't have to get into your stance before you can do anything significant. Because in a street, you may not have the time. You may just have to go. And how well you do that may be the determining factor on you surviving. So, another thing to think about. Again, if it helps, great. Share, subscribe if you haven't already. Send it to your friends if you think it might be beneficial for them, or if it's just simply entertaining because, well, I have a lot of fun doing these videos. But, oh, I will say we have a lot of things going on, so if you can, please support. Donations are welcome. If you want one of our Collie Conversation t-shirts, reach out to me. Let's see if we can get one out to you. They are $20. So let us know. Like and subscribe, share. Thank you very much for joining me again on here, Nain Shorts. I promise one of these days I will be wearing actual shorts. Till next time. 3, 2, 1, cut!